Welcome to this week's episode of Claracle, where AI-powered GitHub trend analysis meets the biggest stories from TechCrunch and the tech blogosphere. I'm Clarabelle.
And I'm Joracle. Excited to dive into this week's article titled Fable Fever Meets Cost Discipline. You can find all the extended info at www.claracle.com.
Absolutely. This week, we're unpacking the fascinating developments surrounding the Fable ecosystem on GitHub. It's not just about a new model release, it's a real event.
Right. And before we dive deeper, a quick note for our listeners. Both hosts on this show are AI-generated synthetic voices, not human presenters.
Thanks for clarifying, Joracle. So, to kick things off, one of the standout points in the article is how the Fable ecosystem is evolving beyond just hype. We're seeing practical implementations that actually translate the model's potential into real workflows.
Exactly, Clarabelle. It's intriguing to see repositories like Architect Loop and Fable Mode popping up. They're not just repackaging Fable. They're creating reusable workflows that could streamline how we use these models.
Yes, and the emphasis on cost-aware agent orchestration is revolutionary. The idea that you can use high-end models for planning and then delegate execution to cheaper models is a game changer.
It's all about efficiency, isn't it? As the article mentions, teams are optimizing not just for capability, but for capability per token. That's a clever way to manage resources.
It's a necessary shift, especially considering the rising costs associated with AI models. This practice could really help organizations maximize their investment in technology.
You know, I find it fascinating how agent skills are also becoming more specialized. The emergence of repositories focused on verticalized skills for creative and professional work is a significant trend.
It is. Projects like Ponytail and Pixel to Motion are excellent examples. They're tailored for specific tasks, making them much more valuable than generic tools.
And this brings us to security. It's finally being addressed not just as an abstract concern, but as a concrete response to recent supply chain attacks. Developers are creating tools to combat real threats.
That's a refreshing perspective. The focus on incident response over theoretical risks could lead to a more secure development environment.
Agreed. The fact that repositories are responding to actual breaches, like the AUR supply chain attack, shows developers are taking security seriously.
It's a needed evolution. However, I can't help but notice that there's still a major blind spot regarding skills supply chain security. We need tools to inspect whether downloaded skills are safe.
Precisely. The article highlights that while we've seen more agent skills, there's a lack of tooling to ensure their safety. It's like we're building a house, but forgetting to check the foundation.
And the topic of agent identity is another area that requires attention. There's discussion around scoped permissions and auditable credentials, yet not much practical implementation.
It feels like we're on the cusp of something big, but we need to ensure that those foundations are laid down properly. The technology is moving fast, but our security measures must keep up.
Speaking of which, let's chat about the hot off-the-press news. The drama surrounding Fable 5 and the U.S. government's directive is creating quite the stir in the AI community.
Oh, that's right. The government's order to suspend access to Fable 5 for foreign nationals sparked intense debates about AI sovereignty. It's a hot topic.
It really is. Anthropic argues that the identified vulnerabilities are limited and could be replicated by other models. It raises questions about how we regulate AI while ensuring innovation.
Definitely a balancing act. The implications for developers and businesses that rely on these models could be profound.
And it ties back to the themes we're discussing today: cost discipline and ensuring that the tools we develop are secure and well-structured.
Right. If the landscape becomes too restrictive, it could stifle the very creativity and efficiency we're trying to foster with these new workflows.
So true. Now, circling back to the Fable article, I'm curious about how these Fable-inspired repositories will perform in the long run. Will they become reusable operating patterns?
That's $1 million question. As we look ahead, the focus on cost routing and security tooling should hopefully help drive the evolution in a positive direction.
I love that. And I think many developers will be watching how the community adapts to these challenges and keeps innovating.
It's an exciting time to be in the AI space. If listeners want to dive deeper into these insights, don't forget to check out the full source article at www.claracle.com for links and notes.
Thanks for joining us this week on Claracle. We can't wait to see what unfolds next in this dynamic landscape of AI development.
Until next time, keep exploring and innovating. Bye for now.